She left him a note. 6 words. That is all it said. She thought it would end things cleanly, quietly, no drama, no confrontation. She had no idea that within 24 hours he would be sitting in the back of a police car, and she would be the one who put him there. Sarah and Marcus had been together for 4 years. To anyone on the outside, they looked perfect. Nice apartment, good jobs, a dog named Biscuit that Marcus had surprised her with on her birthday. But behind closed doors, things had been falling apart for a long time. Marcus never hit her, but he had a cruelty that left no bruises. He would disappear for days with no explanation, come home smelling like someone else, look her dead in the eyes and deny everything. He gaslit her so completely that she had started questioning her own memory. Sarah tried to fix it. Therapy, long conversations that went nowhere. Tears he met with silence. Then one Tuesday morning, while Marcus was in the shower, she picked up his phone and found something she could never unsee. Messages, hundreds of them, to a woman named Claire, going back almost 2 years. Sarah put the phone down slowly and made a decision. Here is what Marcus did not know about Sarah. Before they met, she had spent 3 years working as a paralegal at a family law firm. She knew exactly how these situations played out, and she knew exactly what she needed to do. So instead of confronting him that morning, she smiled at him over breakfast, asked about his day, kissed him on the cheek when he left for work, and then she got to work. Over the next 3 weeks, Sarah built a case. She documented everything, the unexplained absences, the financial inconsistencies she had noticed but never questioned, the $1,400 that had vanished from their joint account the month before. She contacted a lawyer, quietly, using a new email Marcus did not know existed. And then she found something that made the cheating almost irrelevant. While pulling together financial records, Sarah found transactions she could not explain. Regular transfers, $500, sometimes $800, going to an account she had never seen before. Her lawyer looked at the records and went very quiet. Then she said, "Sarah, I think your boyfriend has been committing financial fraud." It turned out Marcus had been opening credit accounts using Sarah's personal information without her knowledge. He had racked up over $23,000 in debt that was legally attached to her name. Sarah sat in that office and felt the floor drop out from under her, but she did not fall. She leaned forward and said, "What do I need to do?" The next 2 weeks were a masterclass in patience. Sarah kept her composure, kept coming home, kept acting completely normal, all while working with her lawyer and handing everything over to the financial crimes unit of her local police department. The detective she worked with told her later he had never seen a civilian put together documentation that clean. Marcus had no idea. He was actually in a good mood those final 2 weeks. He bought flowers once, suggested they go away for the weekend. Sarah smiled and said she would think about it. Then on a Thursday morning, she woke up early, made herself a coffee, and wrote a note. 6 words. She placed it on the kitchen counter, picked up her pre-packed bag. She had been quietly moving her important documents out for days. She walked out the front door and never went back. The note said, "I know everything. Check your phone." Because while Marcus had been sleeping, Sarah had forwarded his entire message history, along with all the fraud evidence, to his employer, his parents, and as a final touch to Claire. Marcus came downstairs, read the note, picked up his phone, and watched his entire life detonate in real time. His employer had already called, twice. Claire had seen the messages Sarah forwarded, the ones where Marcus told her that Sarah was crazy and that he was planning to leave her soon. Claire had no idea Marcus was in a serious relationship. She was furious. His parents were calling, not to support him, to demand answers about money he had borrowed from them 6 months earlier for an emergency. And then, the knock at the door. 2 detectives. A warrant. Marcus was arrested that same morning. Identity theft, financial fraud. The investigation that followed uncovered something even worse. Sarah was not his only victim. He had done this before to an ex-girlfriend 2 years prior who had never connected the dots. Sarah was in another city by the time the handcuffs went on. Her lawyer called to tell her. She was sitting outside a coffee shop with Biscuit the dog at her feet. She had taken him too. And yes, she was legally entitled to. She was drinking a latte in the morning sun. She did not cry. She did not celebrate. She just took a slow sip of her coffee and thought. 6 words. Marcus was convicted 8 months later, 18 months probation, ordered to repay every cent, fired after the investigation went public. Sarah spent the following year rebuilding her credit, her confidence, and her life. Last we heard, she is doing just fine. And Biscuit, living his absolute best life. Justice does not always arrive loudly. Sometimes it comes quietly, in 6 words on a kitchen counter. And a woman smart enough to let it all play out on her own terms. If this story hit different, subscribe to Karma Delivered. New stories every Tuesday and Friday where karma always finds a way. And if you know someone who needs to hear this one, send it to them. See you Tuesday.